Yo, welcome to another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K Sap, and we got one hell of a show for you guys today. And I love talking about this one. But when you come across the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you turn your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. If this is your first time coming across the platform and the channel, please hit the subscribe button, like the video, share it out, post a comment. On this channel, we cover sports, hot topics, roundtable talk, and the marriage chronicles. I see everybody in the comment section. Hashtag salute. And you know what my mantra is. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. For today's show, man, let's get right off into it. You know, I've been covering this story on my channel about Jason Whitlock and, you know, the things that he's been trying to display and the narrative he's been trying to push about different media outlets, different media personnel. If you guys go back, one of the shows I produced talking about Jason Whitlock said he was going to expose Shannon Sharpe and Stephen A. Smith if they kept pushing the agenda about Skip Bayless and the reason why Shannon Sharpe left Undisputed and Fox. He said that he knew everything that was going on in that situation, and he knew the reason why Shannon Sharpe was let go. He even went as far as saying that he had Shannon Sharpe's HR files, and he knew the real reason. And if Stephen A. and Shannon Sharpe kept going on Stephen A. Smith's podcast and also Shannon Sharpe's Club Shay Shay podcast, pushing this narrative, talking about Skip Bayless. Basically, what Jason Whitlock was doing was coming to the defense of, Skip Bayless and saying these are the real reasons why Shannon was let go. So, like I said, he did a show, said he had all the HR files, he was going to expose them, but he never exposed them. Because if you guys know, Stephen A. Smith went on his podcast and called Jason Whitlock out. He exposed Jason Whitlock. And you know the terminology that he used. He called him a fat bastard. And he said he was not going to tolerate no more of his mess. And once he put that out, Jason Whitlock responded, but he kind of like piped down. But he hasn't really never said anything about Shannon Sharpe after he said he was going to expose him. Everybody was waiting for what he was going to expose him about, but that never came to fruition. Ever since Shannon Sharpe has left Undisputed and joined ESPN, y'all know the ratings have been through the roof with ESPN, and Fox and Undisputed, the ratings are suffering. So the latest episode of the Fearless podcast, I came across this audio when Jason Whitlock was basically shitting on Skip Bayless, and he was glad that Shannon Sharpe left Skip Bayless because what he pointed out is about mainstream media. He was saying that a lot of these people that have these YouTube channels and these ex-athletes that go to these YouTube and produce this content is more authentic than what you're seeing from Undisputed and ESPN. And he praised Shannon Sharpe for leaving and going to ESPN and having them ratings at ESPN go through the roof. And he's praised him on his YouTube channel as well, Club Shay Shay, and what he's doing with Ocho Cinco on these Thursday night football games and these Sunday night football games and these Monday night football games after our podcast. So he's giving Shannon Sharpe his praises. He's giving him his flowers right now. I don't know what's gotten into Jason Whitlock. Like I said, I produced a show where he's begging Deion Sanders to unblock him on Twitter after all the scrutiny he has, said about Deion Sanders. Now he wants Deion Sanders to unblock him on Twitter. Jason Whitlock has come to a Jesus moment. And karma plays with you. And now he's seeing how successful Shannon Sharpe is doing. So now he wants to give Shannon Sharpe his flowers. And I find it kind of odd for some of the choice words that Jason Whitlock had to say. So let's take a listen to some of the audio that Jason Whitlock said about Shannon Sharpe and these different media outlets and these people that are going to YouTube and making content in barbershop talk, such as Club Shay Shay, the Pat McAfee show. He's giving them guys their praises. So let's take a listen.
And authenticity in the media, and that there's a media shakeup, there's an awakening going on, and things are moving around the way people are interpreting and judging the media. That's all changing. It's changing in the sports world as well. And I wanted to invite Steve Kim into the conversation because I wanted to focus in on what's going on with Skip Bayless and Undisputed, and what's going on ESPN with Pat McAfee. Skip Bayless's ratings are in the toilet. He's tried to replace Shannon Sharpe, and as I told you all yesterday, I gave you the analogy like Candace Owens has done to Ben Shapiro what we saw Shannon Sharpe do to Skip Bayless. Shannon Sharpe undermined Skip Bayless's street cred. His departure, his move away from Skip Bayless, his move to his own platform and his own business career on YouTube, and his move to ESPN, and the way he exited put a spotlight on Skip Bayless and drew attention to the fact like, hey man, this 70-year-old white guy who's nerdy and goofy is pretending like he's best friends with every rapper. He and Lil Wayne are BFF, and they're hanging out and smoking weed and writing rap songs. And Shannon called BS on all of that and exposed Skip Bayless. But on an even deeper level, what Shannon has done, and I don't know if the right word is give him credit for. What I want to do is acknowledge what he's done. He's blown the cover off of Barbershop Talk TV. YouTube, he's pointed out that, hey, Skip Bayless pretending like he hangs out in a black barbershop with rappers and athletes and all that is totally inauthentic. And if you actually want to hear barbershop talk, sports talk, you can get that in abundance, raw and uncut on YouTube. And that's why Skip Bayless's show is in the toilet as it relates to TV ratings. There's been a major disruption on TV and on television talk. There's better product available on YouTube, more authentic product. Every former athlete, every rapper, they all have talk shows, and many of them have talk shows built around sports. Even Mace and Cameron have their show, and they got O.J. Simpson on there. I mean, and it's crazy the things they talk about.
Wow. Unbelievable, Jason Whitlock. And this is one time I probably have to agree with you on your soliloquy of what you said about YouTube. The content on YouTube is more authentic than the mainstream media because it's not scripted. You know, you're able to say what you want to say on your platform just like you do. But the thing about it is, for you to take a turn, and I don't know what woke you up to give Shannon Sharpe his praises, and at the same time you were shitting on Skip Bayless. At one time you ran to his protection, ran to his defense about Shannon Sharpe. Now all of a sudden you're praising Shannon Sharpe and taking an undermined shot at Skip Bayless. You are the same person that said this about Stephen A. Smith. In one sense, you're giving people praises, and then in the next sense, you tearing them down, you taking shots at them. So that's exactly what you did, Jason Whitlock. You can't have it both ways, but I commend you for being honest about this particular situation with Shannon Sharpe, giving Shannon Sharpe his flowers and his praises for what he's doing, being successful. Once he left the umbrella of Undisputed and the things that he's doing on ESPN, and the things that he is doing on his podcast. Now you realize he's being successful, and you saying he blew the cover off of the mainstream media in the barbershop talk, because basically what you're saying, Shannon Sharpe is being authentic. I commend you for that, Jason Whitlock. I commend you for that. That shows growth, man. I mean, it's not always negative stuff that we're going to talk about, Jason Whitlock. I just found this kind of odd that Jason Whitlock said the things that he said to give Shannon Sharpe his praises. But at the same time, he just shitted all over Skip Bayless, man. Go back and listen to what I played. He just basically shit all over Skip Bayless, bigging up Shannon Sharpe. So that's what happens. He basically said Shannon Sharpe exposed Skip Bayless. Then he goes on to say that, you know, Skip Bayless street cred is fake. It's a fake narrative. Talking about he hangs out in the barbershop with rappers and things like that. It's fake. But I've always said something about Skip Bayless. He's borderline. That relationship he got with Lil Wayne, I don't know if that's authentic or not. But the way Jason Whitlock is saying is, man, acting like he's hanging out with rappers, writing raps, smoking weed. He just basically shit on Skip Bayless, guys. He shit on him. That's the first time I've heard Jason Whitlock really do damage to Skip Bayless the way he did, because he's always talked highly of Skip Bayless and always would undermine the parties that Skip Bayless would work with. The likes of Shannon Sharpe, the Chris Carters. He used to shit on them, but now he's giving Shannon Sharpe his praises, man. So guys, y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Please continue to like the video, support the channel, give the video a thumbs up. Let's run these likes up. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And that's going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. And we're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
Another one.